Hello, who's your fans, who's your haters, and everyone in between. This is the Crimson Coliseum podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the power rankings heading into week 11. And right now, I'm wearing my coaching shirt that because I got a bowling match that I'm going to be coaching today. So, as we get into this, it's the same sort of thing. The cultural playoff poll just got released. So, I'll be discussing that a little bit whenever we get to those teams that are in the poll, that are in the top 12, top 25, and everything like that. So, let's just jump right into it. Whew. And number 18 is still Purdue, 1-7, 0-5 at conference play. The 15th ranked offense at 334.8 yards, and the worst defense at 448.1 yards. Last week they lost against Northwestern 20-26 in overtime. And this week they are at the second ranked Ohio State. And Northwestern was the most winnable game on their schedule. They couldn't get it done. Another overtime loss for Purdue. Yeah, not great. Not great at all. And they are officially out of bowl contention. At number 17, little bit of a shock because considering their record, but I have Northwestern. 4-5, 2-4 in conference play. They're staying at 17. The offense with the least amount of yards at 228.1 yards, and the 12th ranked defense at 349.2 yards. They've won at Purdue 26-20. And this week they have a bye. It's a good bounce back win. I just don't have any confidence they can win any of the game on their schedule. It just is what it is right now. And then at number 16, dropping down 5 spots from where they were at number 11, I've got Nebraska. And yes, is this reactionary? Very, very much so. It's a reactionary take. But they should not be. I don't have confidence that they're going to win any more games on their schedule, because they had this game. This was their easiest game of the next four for Nebraska. But they have the 12th ranked offense at 354.1 yards and the 7th ranked defense at 308.1 yards. But that's just embarrassing to lose to UCLA at home 20 to 27. They're going at USC, at home against Wisconsin, and at Iowa. Their next most winnable game is that home game against Wisconsin. That is probably their last chance to win to go to a bowl game, in my opinion. They could shock me and beat USC, but I don't have faith. Speaking of UCLA, they're at number 15, 3-5, 2-4 in conference play. They had the 16th ranked offense at 309.1 yards, and the 13th ranked defense at 361.6 yards. Previous week, they won at Nebraska 27-20. And this week, they're at home against Iowa. And they have 4 games left on the schedule. Home against Iowa, and 3 of them are home games. Iowa, USC, and Fresno State are at home, and then they're at Washington. And I don't know. I don't think they're gonna get the 3 of the next 4, but it's possible. It's not improbable. I don't think they can beat Iowa, but these last 3 maybe. And they can shock Iowa because I'll be talking about them a little bit later. But at number 14, got Maryland, 4-4, 4-4. One second, I'm gonna make sure they're 4-4. Yeah, they had a bye last week, so yeah, they're definitely 4-4. Oh my God, this computer's lagging like crazy. Let me get to their schedule real fast. Yeah, they got 4 more games left. 4-4, 1-4 conference play. They're up one, from 15 because of the Nebraska falling down. Offense is sixth at 433.5 yards, and the defense is 16th at 381 yards. Last week they were in a bye, and this week they're at Oregon. And this game is just a throwaway, but yeah, this game is just a throwaway. Jeez, why am I yawning so much? This game is really just a throwaway because I don't think they're going to beat Oregon. So they'll be 4-5, and they need to win 2 of the next 3. They've got Rutgers and Iowa at home, and they're at Happy Valley to end the season. So basically, the Rutgers and Iowa game are going to be must wins for them. Speaking of Rutgers, they're the first team in my bowl contenders. Didn't know what to. I put them in bowl contenders because I think they have an easier chance of making a bowl game than Maryland does. So Rutgers is also 4-4, 1-4 conference play. They have the eighth ranked offense at 387.9 yards, and the 17th ranked defense at 332.5 yards. Why is it whenever I talk about defense, I start yawning? It's every time I talk about the defense. 17th in defense, 392.5 yards. Previous week they were on a bye, and this week they're hosting Minnesota. And these next four games are winnable right now. They need to win two of the next four. I think they can. That's why they put them at bowl contenders. So that's what I think there. At number 12, I have USC. 4-5, 2-5 in conference play. Fifth ranked offense at 437.8, and the 15th ranked defense at 370.8. Previous week, they lost at Washington 21-26. And this week, they're on a bye, but their next three games are hosting Nebraska, at UCLA, hosting Notre Dame. To make a bowl game, they have to win these first two because I don't know if they're going to win at home against Notre Dame. Granted, they could, and I will laugh hysterically, but Notre Dame needs that win a lot as well as USC. So that could be a very important game if they lose against Nebraska. At number 11, I have Michigan State, 4-5, 2-4 in conference play. 13th ranked offense at 345.8 yards, and the 10th ranked defense at 323.6 yards. Previous week, they lost against number 13 Indiana 10-47. And this week, they're in a bye. They played well against Michigan, but they didn't really do much against Indiana. They're on a bye this week. They're going to need to win two of the next three. So let's see what their schedule looks like right now. At Illinois versus Purdue versus Rutgers. It's winnable. If Michigan State play like they did against Michigan, I think they can beat Illinois. They can beat Purdue. It doesn't matter how that Rutgers games go. And it's at home, so I like them winning that, but we'll see. Number 10 and number 9, they're basically tied for me. I don't know how I feel about them. I've got Washington at 10 and Michigan at 9. Both are 5-4, 3-3 conference play. Washington staying at 10 and Michigan's down 3 from where they were down 2 where they were at 7. Washington has the seventh ranked offense at 429.1 yards and the fifth ranked defense at 292.8 yards. Meanwhile, Michigan has the 17th ranked offense at 299.4 yards and the 11th ranked defense at 345.1 yards. Last week for Washington, they beat USC 26-21, and Michigan lost against number 1 Oregon 17-38. And both teams are facing ranked teams on the road as Washington's heading to Happy Valley and Michigan is heading to Bloomington. For Washington, their next three games, they got to win two. Well, they got to win one. Never mind. They got to win one. Both teams got to win one. Their next three are at Penn State, at home against UCLA, at Oregon. And both teams have not won a game on the road. And Washington does have that head-to-head win, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Michigan's next three games are at Indiana, against at home against Northwestern, at Ohio State. So both teams have two road games in their last three, plus a road game at the very end. And we'll see. They're basically tied here at 10 and 9. At number 8, I've got Wisconsin. 5-4, 3-3 in conference play. Their offense is ninth at 378.3 yards, and their defense is seventh at 308.1 yards. Previous week, they lost at Iowa 10-42, and they have a bye this week. The rest of the season, they're at home against Oregon, at Nebraska, at home against Minnesota. And they got to win one, and it's not easy for them. I think they can beat Nebraska, but they got to beat Nebraska or Minnesota or both. But I've been liking what Minnesota's been doing. Heading to my bowl favorites tier. At number 7, I have Illinois, who dropped 2 spots from where they were. They have the 11th ranked offense at 356 yards and the 14th ranked defense at 365.4 yards. Previous week they lost against Minnesota 17-25, and this week they are on a bye. And they fell out of the top 25 with that loss against Minnesota, where they just did not close against one of the best closing teams in the country right now. And see if they can regroup on the bye week. Their next few games are at home against Michigan State, at Rutgers, and at Northwestern. So that's going to be an interesting way to see what they do to close. They already are in bowl. They already have 6 wins. Let's see how much they can improve that. At number 6, I have Minnesota. Minnesota, which has honestly shocked me because I thought they were going to get 4 or 5 wins heading into the season. The 14th ranked offense at 337.3 yards, and the fourth ranked defense at 290.6 yards. They are 6-3, 4-2 in conference play. Last week they won at Illinois 25-17, and this week they are at Rutgers. And I think they can win that game. I had them much, much lower in my original predictions, but they're in I believe they're on a 4 game win streak right now. And I'm just gonna check my rankings really fast. Telling me it's not showing me the. I gotta look through it. Oh, I know. There we go. Big football predictions. I had Minnesota at 5-7. Okay, I had them at 5-7, so they surpassed that. I think they can go for much higher too. At number 5, I've got Iowa, who is 6-3, 4-2 in conference play as well, up 3 spots from where they were at 8. 10th ranked offense at 356.1 yards, and the 8th ranked defense at 309.8 yards. Previous week they won against Wisconsin 42-10, and this week they're at UCLA. And this is going to be my concern. They're 6-3. Every time I have them up at a higher ranking, they lose. So Iowa, don't disappoint me. When I put you up high, they've lost every time. So we'll see what happens here. They've got a good bowl game basically in their sights. Um, what is their finishing out? So they're at UCLA, at Maryland, at home against Nebraska. I think they can get 2 wins there at least, maybe even all three. I think all three are in their sights. If they don't screw it up. At number 4, I have the 8th ranked team in the college football playoff, Indiana. 9-0, 6-0 in conference play. They have the best ranked offense at 476.2, and the second ranked defense at 261 yards. Previous week they won at Michigan State 47-10. This week they're hosting Michigan. And they're in the college football playoff on the ranking side. If they beat Michigan, I'm putting them in the college football playoff contender tier. That's the only thing I don't want to get burned by them because I've been burned by Indiana so many times, and I've said it before, I've said it countless times. Until they can get past Michigan, I will and that's whenever I'll put them in the playoff tier. If they can get to 10-0, then we're talking playoffs. Playoffs? You kidding me? All right. Of the playoff contenders, right now I have the 6th ranked Penn State at number 3, 7-1, 4-1 in conference play. They swapped with Ohio State because they lost 13-20. The 4th rated offense at 439.5 yards, and the 3rd rated defense at 278.9 yards. And this week they're hosting Washington. And the offense did absolutely nothing. Defense tried their best against a good Ohio State team, a great Ohio State team. The offense did absolutely nothing. You had a great shot at the end zone, and it gets picked off because the receiver doesn't have hands. Like, before halftime. I'm not a big fan of the fade routes before half. I don't know. You would have liked to go. They had multiple opportunities to get in the end zone, at the end of the half and the end of the game, and they failed both times. They could have won this game easily. They could have. At number two is the second ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. 7-1, 4-1 in conference play. They are up one from rank three. Second rated offense at 457.6 yards, and the best rated defense at 256.4 yards. Previous week, they won at number three Penn State 20-13. And this week, they're hosting Purdue. And they stay in the contention for the Big Ten championship game with this win. And if Indiana and Ohio State can win their next games, it's the second rated Purdue team playing Purdue. Oh no, it's the spoiler makers. Let's hope they don't get spoiler makered here. I don't think they will, but let's hope not. But if they can win, they are still in contention for the Big Ten championship game. And whoever wins the Indiana Ohio State game is going to be playing Oregon in the Big Ten championship. But speaking of Oregon, they're number one. Same thing I've said before with every team at the top. They're at the top until they lose, or if they lose. Oregon 9-0, 6-0 in conference play. Second rated offense at 467.4. And Ohio State's third rated offense at 457.6. So second rated offense at 467.4. Sixth ranked defense at 294.2. They won at Michigan 38-17. And this week they're hosting Maryland. So yeah. Good. They're going to get to 10 now pretty easily. So that's be it for today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Share on all platforms. I'm going to ask, where did I get wrong